Yes, what's good, people? What's going on? Welcome back to FPL today. I am Jay London. It's been a little while because it's been very busy leading up to the Christmas period, but I am back and I promise I'm here to stay now. There's going to be loads of videos coming up throughout the next few days, weeks, and throughout the whole festive period. Okay, I'm on this now. I'm on this. So in this video, we are looking at the ultimate Christmas wish list, all the players that you need under your tree, all the presents that you want in your FPL team, and we're going to go through 6 of them plus a few at the end that I think you need to be looking at. All right, so before we begin, please do what I always ask you to do and subscribe. Yes, this is a brand new YouTube channel. It's still fresh. I'm still trying to climb up the ranks, so if you do like the content, please leave a little like, please subscribe, and let's get straight in. 6 players that you need on your Christmas wish list, the ultimate Christmas transfer guide. Boof. Okay, so before we even start looking at players, let's have a look at some of the teams that have got some good fixtures coming up throughout the Christmas period. I'm going to put this up here. I won't go through all of them because you can see for yourself. The ones that are green are the ones that are lighting our eyes up. They're the people that we're targeting, okay? So straight away, teams like Manchester City and Man United, we already knew that they had a really good fixture run over the Christmas period, over December and over January. Man City's got like Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford coming up. Man United, you're really smiling if you own Ronaldo because you've got Brighton, which might be quite tricky actually, but then Newcastle, Burnley, Wolves, Aston Villa, teams like that, you can expect quite a few goals. West Ham look like a really good shout. Norwich next, Southampton, Watford, Crystal Palace again could be a tough fixture because Vieira's doing bits there. Leeds as well. But in any of those games, we can expect people like Bowen to be picking up some points, and hopefully Antonio can find his form again, right? Liverpool, we already know most of us own people like Salah and Jota and Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you haven't got those 3, then you need to be jumping on those. Before you even start watching this video, just get onto that. And a soft mention for Everton as well. Leicester, Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich. So again, I'm just going to leave this up here. You can pause the video, have a little look. These are some of the fixtures that are going to be coming up for some of the teams that we need to be targeting throughout the Christmas period. Of course, it's not always down to fixtures, but it's a good place to start. If you pick the right fixture and then you get the wrong result, then that's just unlucky. But if you're targeting teams that have got really bad fixtures and then you're not getting points, then it's your own fault, right? Let's have a look at the first pick. So with that in mind, the first person on the Christmas wish list that we're starting with is Jarrod Bowen. Yeah, West Ham's fixtures look really good, like we just mentioned. Antonio's not really performing the way that we expect him to perform. And Bowen's a nice price at the moment. At the time of recording, he's only 6.5. He's played almost every single minute of every Premier League game, apart from when Man City were played. He only got 16 minutes there, but we know why that happened. And yeah, apart from that, he's made it to pretty much 90 minutes or above the 70-minute mark, okay? 74 points already, and West Ham have been performing pretty well, especially when Antonio's on form. So I'm predicting that it's only a matter of time before Antonio starts pulling up his socks and starts performing again. So add Bowen to that mix. He's going to be the person that's going to be getting the points. And also, when Antonio is out, Bowen looks like he's playing up front for West Ham as a striker. So yeah, for those next fixtures, Bowen looks like a person that we really want in our teams. As I say, 74 points at the time of recording, and he's only going to be set to do some more across the Christmas period. We want to be picking those players that are going to be playing week in, week out. There's going to be a heavy pile up. I can't really see Bowen missing many games. Like, West Ham can't really afford to be doing that. So Jarrod Bowen is the first person on the Christmas wish list. Next up is Rafinha. So Rafinha is a person that I've had in my team from the very beginning. He's been frustrating because he's been in, he's been out, he's missed quite a few games through injuries or whatnot, or international games or what have you. But he still managed to pick up 73 points. He's still managing to score goals against teams like Chelsea, and he's got a nice run of fixtures coming up, especially now that Bamford's going to be back, or hopefully back. At the time of recording, we're still not too sure, but yeah, once that attack is in place, we can expect Rafinha to be doing some more bits, and he does everything. When Bamford's not on the pitch, he's taking penalties, he's doing set pieces, he's taking free kicks, he's the first person on the team sheet. So if he's in your team at the moment, I can see Rafinha getting some points against Arsenal. They're the type of team that Leeds really like to play. Like, they don't like playing teams that sit back. They like playing teams that like to attack so they can hit them. And then yeah, Rafinha is going to be getting loads of space because of that. You can easily bench him against teams like Liverpool, and then look at the fixtures: Aston Villa, Burnley, West Ham, Newcastle. it looks really, really good. So yeah, if you haven't got Rafinha and you're looking for someone around that price point, 6.6 million is a nice little juicy price to pay for a person that is going to be playing every single game as long as they're fit and could potentially be the first person on that team sheet. Like, he leads Leeds by example. I like that. He leads Leeds. Get him on the Christmas wish list. Get him in your team. Now, I want to give a goalkeeper a little bit of love. So I've gone with De Gea, mainly because he's been very, very good for Manchester United this season. Like, Man United's defence has been appalling. Obviously, you can see I'm a Man United fan. We've been awful at the back. But De Gea seems to be making a lot of headlines because he's making some very, very important saves. Important saves mean save points. We love save points because then that's extra points in our dream team, even if there isn't a clean sheet kept, right? But it looks like Man United are going to be a lot more solid now that we've got a new manager. Dalot looks to be doing pretty well as well if you're looking for a defender to put in there. And it looks like one of the philosophies of Ranić is to not concede that many goals before we even start trying to go up the pitch and scoring loads. So the other thing that I like about him is his price tag, which is 5.1, which I'm assuming he's only going to go up because it was more before that. If you go for a Ramsdale, he's round about the same price, but he's just been going up and up and up. So I don't know how much more his price can go up, but you could be getting ahead of the crowd if you do have a keeper like De Gea. I could live to regret this, but if I was picking a wild card now, De Gea would probably be my keeper of choice. So the next person that I want to talk about is Bernardo Silva. Now, Bernardo Silva is no secret because he's been smashing it over the last few games. He's getting a lot of attention. Loads of people have transferred him in already. And if you haven't, then you're thinking, maybe he can't keep it up. I'll put him in next game. If you're anything like me, you will stop messing about and just get the guy in your team. Not just because of the fear of what Gundogan did last season when we kept putting it off, or I did at least. And then Gundogan just went on to score like 15 goals in the second half of the season. But Bernardo Silva is a person who is ticking over. He's getting the most minutes, more than any other City player other than maybe Cancelo. And Pep's already come out and said that Bernardo Silva is the best player in the Premier League. If Pep Guardiola is saying that, then you can be almost sort of like 80% sure, because Pep Roulette, that Bernardo Silva is going to continue to be ticking over and continue to be playing all of these games across Christmas. Yes, he might get rested in the odd one or two, but if you look at the fixtures coming up, they're all green, like Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford. Arsenal and Chelsea is where it could get a little bit tricky, but then Southampton, Brentford again, Norwich, like all of those fixtures, as long as Bernardo Silva stays fit, he's a person that you can just get in your team, put him in the midfield, and then forget about him. So if you're putting him off, I don't know why you're looking elsewhere. I don't know why you're trying to be too clever to be thinking about players like Gundogan or Foden or Mahrez or Grealish or even Kevin De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva is the person that you need in that from that Man City squad in your team. Definitely on the Christmas wish list. Get him in your team. Let's talk about Kieran, because he started the season, he played what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, played about 8 games at the start of the season, and then of course he missed out about the same amount of games, so he wasn't playing. He lost his place in the team. Now he's back and he scored over 24 points in the games that he has played, which is incredible. And a lot of Arsenal fans were calling for him to come back. Now he looks like he has got his place back in the team. And again, looking at those fixtures coming up, like Leeds and Norwich and Wolves are some very good fixtures that you'd want to have an attacking fullback, especially if we're talking Norwich and Wolves. Like, the Norwich and Wolves don't look to be scoring a lot of goals at the moment, and Leeds like to go forward a bit. So if Leeds are going forward, you know what that means. We love an attacking fullback that allows him to get in behind and pick up some more points. It also looks like Arsenal are picking up a bit more form at the moment. They're scoring a few more goals. Players like Lacazette have come along. Smith Rowe's been quiet for a little bit, so hopefully he'll pick up, or maybe not so hopefully if you haven't got him in your team. Saka's there as well. So yeah, who knows? Maybe Arsenal could really light up the Christmas period, especially with these fixtures that we're talking about. Once it gets to Man City and Tottenham, yes, it could get a little bit more tricky. But in the foreseeable future, Kieran Tierney looks like a person that is a really, really good punt. And for 4.7 mil, again, I feel like his price is going to go up. So if you're looking for a person around that price point, you're trying to get out players like Alonso or James, why not go for a Tierney? Why not double up on that Arsenal defence if you've got a Ramsdale in goal, and start to make a little bit more points on people that do have Ramsdale and don't have an Arsenal defender? Get him on the watch list, get him on the Christmas list, wrap him up, put him under the tree. Now, a bit of a premium pick, and maybe a person that's gone under the radar just a little bit, is my boy, Son. Yeah, he's got 81 points at the moment. He's ticking over really, really nicely. Even though Spurs haven't been playing particularly well, all the focus has been on Harry Kane, but Son still managed to get over 80 points this season. Imagine when he actually does start playing well and he does start scoring a lot of goals and getting involved and being the player that we saw last season and in previous seasons. He's only going to pick up. Plus, add to that, we know that Spurs have got some double game weeks coming up as well. Who knows what's going to happen to Harry Kane in January? Like, is he going to move on? His head doesn't really look like he's going to be there. And if that does happen, are they going to get another striker in? And does Son become the main man after that? The thing that I really do love about him as well is, yes, he is quite expensive, 10.3 at the time of recording, but he's cheaper than a Harry Kane, and we can always assume that a big haul is coming if you've got Son in your team. Like, even if Tottenham are the last team to play at the end of a game week and you've got Son, you know there's hope. You know that he can get a 13-pointer, he can get a 10-pointer, he can get double figures as long as he's on it for that game week. So, yeah, Son is a person that I'm going to closely be looking at. Maybe not in the next kind of 1 or 2 game weeks, because they do have Liverpool coming up and Crystal Palace might be quite tough, but once they start hitting teams like Southampton, Watford, even that North London derby, Son's a person that I'm going to be looking to bring into my team. So definitely on the wish list, definitely under the Christmas tree, or maybe he could be a cheap bank holiday January Boxing Day sale or something like that. All right, but keep your eye on him, get him on the watch list and get him on your Christmas list. So those are 6 players that we have on our Christmas watch list. Get them wrapped up, get them under the tree, get them in your teams. There are obviously a lot of popular picks as well that I haven't mentioned, who I will talk about here, and maybe the reasons why I haven't mentioned them, but I'm assuming you already know. I'm assuming you already know about Cristiano Ronaldo, because you've seen Man United's fixtures. A lot of people transferred out Kane and transferred him in. So you don't need me to tell you that Cristiano Ronaldo is a really, really good pick. If you have the funds for that, and that is your strategy for your team, and you're still hanging on to players like Kane or maybe Vardy, get him in for Ronaldo. Gallagher, Maddison, Mount and Dennis are really, really interesting because they've all been pretty knee-jerky. Maybe other than Dennis, he's been quite consistent. A lot of people have been saying it's down to luck, but he's been smashing it for Watford. So if you haven't got Dennis, maybe you've gone for a king like I have in my team. If you're looking for a cheap striker at the moment, Dennis is the person in form. And again, he looks like he's going to be playing all the fixtures across the Christmas period. As for Gallagher and Maddison, they've been smashing it recently, especially Gallagher. He's been quite consistent for the whole season. So again, he's a person that you don't need me to identify for you to know that he's a really good shout. My question is just how long can he keep it up for? If you think that he can continue doing this for the rest of the season, then of course go with him, and that same applies for Mason Mount as well. The only thing that I would say about Chelsea is be a little bit careful, because the next few games are against like Wolves, Aston Villa, Brighton. Then it's going to get tricky with Liverpool and City, then Tottenham, and then they've got 2 blank game weeks. In game week 24 and 25, Chelsea are playing 0 games. So at the moment, I'm looking at options and ways to get out players like James and Alonso rather than bringing in more Chelsea players. But I mean, there's a long way to go before that. So Mason Mount. I didn't want to go the whole video without mentioning players like Ronaldo, Gallagher, Maddison, Dennis and Mount, because of course they're really, really good picks and we can expect them to smash it across the Christmas period. So these are all the guys that we're looking at, the 6 that I spoke about before. These guys here, maybe you can get them all in your team, or maybe not, because there's like, I don't know, 9 midfielders on list, but you know what I mean. So there we have it. This is the ultimate Christmas wish list. All the players that you need to be having your eyes on going into all of this busy schedule, these busy game weeks, and all of the Christmas games coming up, because there's a lot of them. It's jam-packed. And my philosophy is if you're picking players that are almost guaranteed to start all of those games, then you've got a little bit of an advantage. Players like Ronaldo, maybe we're not too sure about. Vardy has already been exposed that he's not going to be playing all of these games. Pep Roulette is always a threat. But you know what I'm saying, right? If you've got players like Bowen or Rafinha, then you can almost certainly expect them to be playing majority of the games coming up across the Christmas period. So let me know what you're saying. Let me know what you're saying down in the comments. Who do you think are the ultimate players to have in your team throughout the Christmas run, throughout this busy period? Have you gone with any of the players that I've suggested because I've suggested them? Do you think that any of them are crazy? Am I losing my mind picking people like De Gea? Let me know down in the comments. And of course, leave a little like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I need all the help that I can get. This is still a brand new YouTube channel, and yeah, every single like, comment and subscription really does help me to climb up the ranks. Good luck. I'm going to be keeping an eye on things throughout the next few game weeks. I'm going to be here making sure that I've got so many more videos coming up throughout the festive period. And yeah, if you do have any more suggestions or you have any content that you do want to see, then let me know, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, good luck.